Alright, so I said that we would go over this in a video, so this is that video. So this is your Chapter 2 test review. So let's start with this. This is in 2.1. We were just translating algebraic expressions to words or word sentences to algebraic expressions. So 2 times, that means 2 multiplied by the sum, meaning that I'm going to have parentheses here, of x and 5 is equal to 4 times the difference, so that means we got parentheses here, of x and 3. So if I write that as one full sentence now, I'm going to have 2x plus 5 is equal to 4x minus 3. Number 3, translate to algebraic. So 3 times the difference of x and y, minus sign, is equal to twice x plus 5. So twice means 2 times x plus 5. So again, 3x minus y is equal to 2x plus 5. Translate to verbal. So instead of writing it from words to algebraic, now we're going the other way. So if I'm translating this to a verbal expression, I'm going to say something like x minus y equals 6. You could say the difference of x and y is 6. Anything like that works. So there's 2 different options for you. Number 5, the cost of buying lemonade supplies is 50 cents per cup, $5 per ingredient, with a total cost of 30. So 50 cents per cup, $5 for ingredients, with a total cost of $30. So total cost of $30. So if I have 5 cents per cup, that means every time I put a cup in my cart, I'm adding 50 cents. So if I have 10 cups in my cart, I'm multiplying 10 times 0.5. So this part here means 10, or my cups, so I'm going to use C. So 0.50 times my cups. If I have $5 per ingredient, that means $5 for my lemons, $5 for the sugar, everything like that. So every time I add one of those ingredients in my cart, I'm increasing by $5. So I'm going to have 5 times, I'm going to use I for ingredients. My total cost means that I'm spending, so when I go to the cash register, all of that stuff together is equal to that $30. So when I write this as a full algebraic expression, so here you're just writing this as an algebraic expression. It's going to be 0.50C plus, because when I go to the cash register, I'm adding all of this stuff together to get my total, 5I is equal to 30. And I don't know how many cups I'm buying or how many ingredients, so I can't actually solve for anything. I'm just writing that expression. 2.2 is solve for the equation x plus 3 is equal to 12. So we're just going to undo what's happening to that x. So then I'm going to have x is equal to 9. And that's going to be that final answer on that one. Solve the equation. Again, I'm wanting to solve for x. I could rewrite this as 1x over 3 is equal to 60. So I'm dividing this equation by 3. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 so that I can undo what is happening to that x value. And then I'm going to multiply 60 times 3 to get 180. Something else that you could do is multiply by the reciprocal. So you could multiply by 3 over 1 on both sides. So again, you're going to have 60 times 3, which is 180, divided by 1, which is still 180. So either way still would give you that x is equal to 180. All right, solve the equation. I've got that 4.5x here, negative 4.5x, and 27 on the other side. So I'm just going to undo that multiplication. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4.5. So I'm going to have 27 divided by 4.5, which means that x is equal to 6 because my 4.5 will cancel on the other side. Solve the equation. So in this particular case, I have this negative and then a negative. So really here I am adding. That's really a positive. So I'm really doing 3 equals x plus 4. So when I go to solve this, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to have negative 1 is equal to x. So now we're in 2.3. Solve the equation. So on this particular equation, we are going to have to distribute that 5 to both parts of the parentheses. So I'm going to have 5x minus 5 is equal to 23. Remember, the next thing I have to do is undo the addition or subtraction. So I'm subtracting originally, so I'm going to add now, which gives us 5x is equal to 28. And now I can undo the multiplication or division, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Which gives us 5.6. All right, so moving forward, solve the equation negative 2x plus 3 is equal to negative 40. Again, we're going to have to distribute, so you're going to get negative 2x plus negative 6 is equal to negative 40. You can rewrite that equation as negative 2x minus 6 is equal to negative 40. Add 6 to both sides. Negative 2x is equal to negative 34. 40 minus, plus 6, make sure. Yep, negative 34. Divide both sides by negative 2. So you'll have that x is equal to 17. Next up, we have 2.4, and in 2.4 we have questions with our variable on both sides. So we want to move our variable to one side and our numbers to the other. So I'm going to move 3x. If you move something else first, that's fine. Wait until the end and see if you got the same thing. So then I'm going to have 2x minus 6 is equal to 18. I'm going to move that 6 to the other side. And get that 2x is equal to 24. Divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 12. And same idea with this next one, except we have to distribute. So we're going to distribute on both sides to get 3x plus 12 is equal to 2x minus 12. I'm going to move my 2x. Again, if you did it a different way, that's totally fine. Just wait until the end and see if you got the same answer. Minus 12 on both sides. 1x is the same thing as x. So that's going to be equal to negative 24. Solve the equation. This time I only have distribution on one side, so I'm going to have x plus 10 is equal to 3x minus 18. I'm going to move the 1x this time so that I'll get 10 is equal to 2x minus 18. Add 18 to both sides. So I'll have 28 is equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2 so that my x is equal to 14. All right, now we are in 2.5 where we are evaluating absolute value expressions. So when I evaluate, I'm just going to plug in. And the value I am plugging in is that x is equal to 5. So I'm just going to exchange that x for a 5, and everything else stays the same. Remember, with an absolute value, I need to have a single value inside here first. Single value in the absolute value signs. Before you can take the absolute value. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 minus 3, which is 2. Everything else stays the same. When I take the absolute value of 2, that's just a positive 2, and my absolute value signs then drop at this point in time. So 2 plus 2, 4. So in this one, again, I'm evaluating, so I'm just going to plug in some value that it tells me. In this case, x is equal to negative 10, so I'm just going to exchange out the x for a negative 10, and then everything else will stay the same. So negative 10 minus 3 is going to be negative 13. The absolute value signs still stay. We have to get a single value on the inside before we can actually take the absolute value. So this is not changing to positive 10 plus 3. So then the absolute value of negative 13 is going to be 13 plus 8. And 13 plus 8 is equal to 21. So 21 would be our final answer here. Number 17, solve the absolute value equation. So this is the equations where I have case 1 and case 2. And in case 1, the 7 is going to be positive, and in case 2, I'm going to have the negative 7 there instead. So that's where that comes in, those case 1s and case 2s. So I'm going to have negative 7, and remember, whatever is on the inside here is what we set it equal to, is equal to x minus 4, and then x minus 4 stays the same over here. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides for both cases. And for case 1, I'm going to get that x is equal to 11. And in case 2, I'm going to get that x is equal to negative 3. Notice these are not the same values. A lot of you find one of them and just tell me it's the positive and negative. That does not always work. Make sure you solve both cases. So same thing for question number 18. We're given an absolute value equation. So case 1 is going to be the positive 6. Case 2, and I'm actually going to write these side by side this time, is going to be the negative 6. Remember, make one positive and then one negative. And that is equal to whatever is on the inside You do not need to write the absolute value signs. It'll be a little easier for you if you don't. So again, you're going to solve like you normally do. So you're going to subtract 8 from both sides. And when you do that, you are going to get negative 2 is equal to 2x. And on the other side, you're going to get negative 14 is equal to 2x. You're going to divide both by 2. So you're going to get x is equal to negative 1 for case 1. And for case 2, x is equal to negative 7. Next, determine whether the pair of ratios forms a proportion. So you're going to want to make sure neither of these simplify. So if you go and use the calculator that I have given you, start the graphing calculator. Oop, let's not do a test. Start practice. So you're going to have 6 over 11 and 18 over 33. So if you type in 6 over 11 and then hit your fraction button on the side here by your answer, it'll change it to a fraction form. And 6 over 11 is the same thing as 6 over 11. So that one doesn't simplify. Let's try 18 over 33. So I'm going to hit enter, type in 18 divided by 33. And again, you can use your fraction button and look at that. It's 6 over 11, so 18 over 33 is equal to 6 over 11, meaning that yes, they are. Next one, determine whether the pair of ratios forms a proportion. So 16 over 21. Gives us 16 over 21, and 6 over 9 is 2 over 3. So those two are not the same as each other. So if I simplify this one, it would be 2 over 3, which is not the same. So no, they are not a proportion. Next one asked us to solve. When we solve these, we have to cross multiply. So 2 times 12 is 24 is equal to 3 times x, which is just 3x. And then solve for x. So divide both sides by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 8 is equal to x. Same thing for 22, 12 times 5, which is 60, and then x times 15, which is just 15x. Divide both sides by 15. My pen stopped writing. There we go. So 60 divided by 15 is 4. So 4 is equal to x, and that's going to be our final answer for that one. Number 23, set up the proportion and then solve the proportion. A fruit smoothie requires 14 blueberries for every 5 strawberries. How many blueberries would you need if you were using 15 strawberries? So there's 2 different ways you can set this up. First is by labels. And then second is by sets. So your labels are strawberries and blueberries. So if I do that, I'm going to put my strawberries with my strawberries and my blueberries with my blueberries. So I have 14 blueberries, and that's equal to 5 strawberries because that's what I'm told. They're in the same sentence, so that's what they're equal to. Then I want to know how many blueberries, so the second blueberries is going to be my x value if you were using 15 strawberries. So again, you're going to cross multiply. So you're going to have 15 times 14 is equal to 210, which is equal to 5x. Divide both sides by 5, and you'll get 42 blueberries. The other way you can do it is by sets. So I have a set that is 14 blueberries with 5 strawberries. So I'm going to put those two things together, the blueberries and the strawberries. And then I want to know how many blueberries. So again, I'm looking for the number of blueberries to 15 strawberries. So again, I've got 14 times 15, which is 210. And then 5x, divide both sides by 5, and again you get 42 blueberries. Either way works, up to you. Set up and solve the proportion. So for every 40 minutes of tutoring physics, you earn $80. So 40 minutes and $80. If you want to go by sets, or if you want to go by label, you'd have 40 minutes equals $80. How many minutes would you have to work to earn $30? So now I'm told another dollars, and I don't know what my minutes are. So I don't know my minutes, and I know that I have $30. So 40 times 30 is 1200 equals 80x. Divide both sides by 80, and you are going to get that there is 15 minutes is equal to $30. Or sorry, 15 minutes is equal to your x. Next up, we have solving an equation for W. So for these, we want our W to be all alone by itself. So we're going to have to undo everything that is there with the W. So we want everything on one side and W all by itself. So we're going to add Y to both sides. So we have 4W is equal to 3Z. Divide both sides by 4, so W then is equal to 3Z over 4. We'll have to scroll down a little bit here. This time we want to solve that equation for Y, so we want Y all on its own. So we're just going to subtract 3x from both sides, giving us Y is equal to 10 minus 3x. And that is all. So if you have any questions on that, you can leave a comment on the post and actually do it on today's post so that way other people can see your question and may benefit from it. So hopefully that answers some of your questions if you were confused on anything.